would like to welcome you this day to the Kingdom Business Network. This is a program that helps you to run a successful business. We come to your home, we try to equip you with skills from these talk shows, whereby you're able to then start to run a successful business from the tips that we give you. So we are here today to discuss about wealth creation, and I have some panelists who are very well conversant with business. And today we'll be discussing about taking your business idea from dreams to reality. So the topic today is wealth creation from dreams to reality. And on my immediate left is Mr. Michael Waithaka. Mr. Michael, just want you to introduce yourself and just welcome the viewer also.
My name is Michael Waithaka, and I run a business called Exalted Honey Investments Limited. And viewer, we welcome you to this show.
So how has business been this week?
It's been well, but obviously with some few challenges. Yeah, but gradually we have had a good week.
How has been the business from a global point of view in Kenya?
Business has been quite challenging in our country because there are many challenges at the moment.
Okay.
Starting from the cost of raw materials going up, the devaluation of the Kenya shilling, the taxation regime that we're having at the moment. So the cost of business has been quite high.
Is there hope?
There's a lot of hope.
There's a lot of hope.
There's a lot of hope.
Dear viewer, there might be a lot of challenges, but there is hope. And on my immediate right is Enoch. Enoch, welcome. Maybe you can introduce yourself to the viewer.
Thank you so much, Bishop. God bless you. My name is Enoch Chitonde Chija. I'm from Uganda, but currently here in Kenya. I come from House of Faith, and it's a blessing to be part of this panel today. I am excited about the topic we are going to discuss today, having a dream come true, and it's an exciting time for the young people. I am really excited, and I can't wait to see how my dream, my vision can come to fruition with the kingdom mindset. So yes, I'm very excited, Bishop.
So how do you find business in Kenya?
A business in Kenya is very exciting. I see a lot of energy. People work so hard. People are so fast. They are so fast, literally. When you come to Kenya, even if you are in a mode of inactivity, by just a mere look at other people moving around, working out, you know, you just get excited and in the mode of working. So I love the spirit here.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
I've always wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Allow me to ask you today as
Sure.
we introduce ourselves to the viewer. What prompted you to come from Uganda to Kenya? We might be seeing something that the Kenyans are not seeing.
Surely. And that is very exciting question. When I came to Kenya, I think it was God who made a way for me, because the company I'm working for, Digital Adverts Limited, it's a company that is into the digital space, marketing and giving value to business owners. So when we started it in Uganda, we were experiencing some growth. But when we had the Kenyan come on board, it was very exciting because Kenya is literally a digital hub. You know, everything digital, internet, you guys have embraced it earlier than us. So when I came to Kenya, I saw a platform where we could grow faster, you know, help more businesses, but also learn. Because my earlier months of doing business here, we are more into research, learning how people do business here. And I must tell you, Kenya is on another level. The way you guys are appreciating, the way you adapted to the digital landscape, digitalization is on another level. You know, everything is digitalized today. The government to access the services, you know, it was not easy for us in Uganda. So Kenya has been very exciting. And when we started business here, the people it was not really hard for us to sell our idea to business owners here, because at least they had a background and they knew the impact what the digitalization can do. So it's a great experience.
So I think from what you're saying, I can pick a few things. And one of the things is that an outsider is looking into Kenya and seeing a lot of opportunities. And that's a challenge to you, my viewer, that there's somebody outside the country who is looking at Kenya as a very good growth opportunity, and is one of the cases that we can actually talk about.
Yeah.
And he's come from Uganda, come into Kenya,
Yeah.
because he's seeing business opportunities. So my challenge to you is don't get overwhelmed by what is happening, because if an outsider can see business opportunity, what about you as somebody who's already in the country? There's still a lot of opportunities. You just need to change your mindset, to equip yourself with the right skills, to explore the opportunities which are available, and you'll be able to move your business to the next level. Coming from last week, we had Michael Waithaka. And Michael, we discussed a lot about your business. You introduced yourself to us,
Yes.
and to the viewers.
Yeah.
And today we want to take it from where we left last week.
Yes.
And what I would ask you to do is just to give a small recap of how you started, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mugai, and it's a pleasure to have me on this show. Last week, we discussed about how I started the business, and for about 29 years I was in employment, and about 4 years ago, that's when I decided to leave employment and got into the cleaning and hygiene business, which I had done for about 21 years. One of the major cleaning and hygiene chemical providers. And so currently the business I do is provision of cleaning and hygiene chemicals to hotels, institutions, and food manufacturing companies.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that is the business that I am currently doing, and alongside that I also provide adhesives. So that the business name is Exalted Horn Investments. Yeah.
Yeah, today we are talking about dreams.
Yes.
What was a dream, and how did you start the journey of realizing that dream?
I think having been in the chemical, first, before I even got into the chemicals business, I had a desire to get into sales and marketing, and from an inspiration from one of my mentors who was ahead of me, and so I all along, even in employment, I was desiring to get into the chemicals business and selling chemicals. And so when I got this opportunity to be on my own, when I felt that is the time to leave employment and get into my own business, what was in me was marketing and sales of cleaning and hygiene products and other allied chemicals. And so that's what drove me. Having seen somebody who had succeeded in sales and marketing, and he was making it in life, I decided I would also want to do that when I got an opportunity. That's what drove me.
So can we say that you've already started to live your dream as far as business is concerned?
Yes,
okay.
I have started living my dream. I may not be, I have started, yes. Yeah.
So the key here is to get started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Enoch,
yes.
What do you have to say about getting started to the journey of realizing your dream in wealth creation?
Well, thank you so much, Bishop. I believe starting is very key. What limits most people is the ability to get started, and all you need is to start. There's a statement that goes, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So until you take your step forward, maybe the dream will not unfold clearly. I think that is why when you look at the scriptures, the Bible says, Habakkuk 2:2, write your vision on paper, write your vision on tablets, so that whoever will see it will run away. I think God wanted us to take a step, because when you write down the dream, you break it down, it becomes easy. Sometimes the dream becomes too much. I believe Bishop Waithaka will also tell us it was not easy when God gave him that idea, but when he went ahead and wrote it down, you began seeing ways out. You broke it down, you got the goals right, you set the smart steps for you to achieve that, and there you went. So I believe starting is what limits most people, and such programs here are set to help us get started on this journey. Because until you start, nothing will happen.
Until you start, nothing will happen.
Yes.
So viewer, please get started. If you have a dream and you know it's the right time, and you have prepared, please get started. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. There are a lot of people with business ideas, but they don't bring them to reality.
Yes.
They don't even get started. Someone like Miles Monroe said, the graveyard is where you have the richest people, or the richest wealth is at the graveyard. Why?
Yes.
Because there are a lot of ideas that never saw the light of day. So I would like to encourage you, my viewer, please get started.
And I would want to add, Dr. Mungai, it's really not about the external environment, because there is a lot that will be happening in the environment. But so long as I have a dream in my heart, whether it is the corona time, or whether the economy is low, or whatever it is, whether your finances are down, the most important thing is for you to have a dream. So when you have that dream, launch, and God being with you, you'll be able to succeed.
Is there any time the environment has been good?
No time.
You see, I'm asking that because I know we've worked with you.
Yes.
And if I flash back 20 years,
Yes.
I think we always had things were always tough.
They are always tough.
I don't know how that is, but I can tell you for sure, for the last 20 years, we worked with you in some place.
Yes.
And it was always running on our toes.
Yes.
It was always difficult.
Yes.
I don't know whether Enoch, you have that feeling that there's no single time a business will say that this year is easy.
Yeah.
It always appears that every time things are difficult.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, when things are still difficult, there are still people who are still making it,
Yes.
Despite that difficult environment.
Yes.
Or do you have the same feeling? Or
Yes.
is it just me who is thinking that way?
I really do, because you must face your fears, you must face these challenges, because without a test, there is no testimony. And for us who have the scriptures, God has loaded us with so much. I believe this is now the time. For example, believers who are following this program, is the time now to put scriptures into reality. Because most people just read the Bible, and after church, that is it. They now don't get to the next side or step to apply what they have learned. God has really given us the power. Actually, the Bible says he gives us the power to make wealth.
Yes.
You have that scripture, but you still have the fear to start. Yet he tells Abraham, leave your fathers, go to a place where I will show you. So until Abraham probably sets his first step and course, everything seemed impossible. But look at what he's able to achieve right now. You know, there's so much. So faith, to be into reality, there has to be your involvement as a believer to take a step forward. Business is the way to go. And as a kingdom builder, you have to start somewhere. The other day, I can't forget this. It's Bishop Kingori who said it. If you are to climb a tree, you don't climb from up, you climb from down.
Yes.
So everything has a start and a stop. So God, I believe, he unveils to you the entire picture or plan when you start. But when you stay static in one place, nothing will happen. And of course, there will always be challenges. Yes.
In fact, the scriptures challenge us that he who watches the wind does not sow, and he who watches the clouds does not reap. So there is no one time that the environment is going to be suitable for us to start.
Absolutely.
But it's a question of having your dream and moving on, trusting God, and God is able to cause is able to bless the work of our hands.
Absolutely.
Actually, looking at the parable of the talents, there's a man who was given 1 talent, another one was given 3, and I think the other one was given 5.
Yes.
The one with 3 and 5 decided to go and put it to work. In other words, he got started.
Yes.
But the one who had 1, what did he do? He never got started.
No.
He never got started.
No.
And because he never got started, why did he not get started? He had a lot of excuses.
Yes.
One of the excuses was, my master is a hard man who wants to reap where he did not sow. So him is so a difficult business environment.
Yes.
He's dealing with the people who want to reap where they never sowed.
Yes.
And because of that, he never got started. He never put his 1 talent into business.
Right.
And because of that, when the master came, and this is like where the time of the multiplication of harvest, because when he came, remember what he did to them. The one with 3 was given 3 more. The one with 5 was given 5 more.
Yes.
Yeah? This guy, because he had done nothing, he got nothing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So From that, what I learned is when you get started,
Yes.
you are actually putting your talent to work.
True.
When there is a change in the economic environment,
Yes.
it is going to affect positively
Yes.
the people who have started to do something.
True.
If you did nothing,
Yes.
nothing times a million is still nothing.
Nothing.
True.
So 0 times a million is
Is zero.
nothing, zero. But if you have go to 2 or 3,
Yeah.
you multiply a million, then you
Yes.
have 2 million.
True.
You see?
Yes.
So once you get started, then when the environment changes,
Yes.
and things become easier,
Right.
then you are the people who benefit.
Yes.
But I also want to ask you, what is it that when you get started,
Yeah.
the things which were looking very, very difficult,
Yes.
all of a sudden things start getting easy? Might be in your journey. Can you tell us, yes, we heard about how you started.
Yes.
But after you started, did things become easier relatively, or
Yes.
did they become harder? What's your experience?
After I started,
Yes.
when I was starting off, at the moment I was starting off, things seemed a bit difficult
At the point of starting?
at the point of starting.
Yes.
But immediately I broke through that gate, things became easier because I was able to get referrals. I was able to visit people that I already knew. I was able to realize that there are even people that I had worked with before that were willing to support me. I was able to get some contacts even from people who had that I started business and were giving me or making calls to me and telling me that there are opportunities. And so after I started, things became a bit easier because I was able to do more. So it's just like when a vehicle is parked. When a vehicle is parked, it is immovable and it is stationary and nothing is happening to it. It is important for the vehicle the engine to be put on, to be ignited, to be allowed for a few minutes to heat up, and after that the vehicle starts moving. So what was very difficult for the vehicle at the beginning, now as the vehicle starts moving, even when you do not accelerate, it gains some momentum. It can even start moving on its own, and that's exactly what it is in terms of business. So what it seemed to be very difficult before, when you are starting off, immediately you start, the things that you used to be difficult become much easier. And not that they become much easier, because you have the courage to confront any hindrance, and you're able to move on. Yeah.
So you started with one customer.
Yes.
How did you move? I hear you say that you were able to move from one customer to many more customers because of referrals.
Yes.
How was it getting your first customer and moving to your 10th customer?
From my first customer, I started going just knocking doors. I would say just knocking doors.
Knocking doors.
Yes.
Okay.
From the beginning to get my first client. In fact, I started selling very basic items at the initial step. But as I moved on, I moved on from supplying a few clients to many more, because I had the courage to now start approaching bigger prospects, because I found after succeeding in the first few, I had the courage to move on and approach bigger clients. And that's how my number has continued growing. After I started providing service to the bigger ones, they were able to even some of them were able to even tell their colleagues, or other prospective clients who were in the same industry. And that's how my client base has increased from one to a number of clients up to where I am now.
A business is successful because of customers.
Yes.
And what I hear you saying is that once you started the business, you got your first customer,
Yes.
you are selling few products.
Yes.
And then you started knocking doors from one door to another.
Yes.
And the Bible, and this is very biblical, because the Bible says, ask and shall be given unto you, seek and you shall find, knock and shall be opened unto you.
Yes.
For whoever asks receives, whoever seeks finds, whoever knocks, the door is opened for him.
Yes.
So I hear you say that you started knocking doors.
Yes.
And doors started to open.
Right.
You can never open a door until it is You knock
You
it.
knock it.
You have to knock the door.
Yes.
So that somebody inside the house opens the door.
Right.
And this is very key. My viewer who is in the process of getting started. You have to knock a door.
Yes.
If you don't knock it, you have no business having somebody open door that you didn't knock.
No.
You have to seek something.
Yes.
Until you seek, you can't find.
Yes.
You have to ask. And you cannot get before you ask.
No, you can't.
And that's a very, very important trick.
Yes.
Because a lot of people stay with their business ideas and they fear starting.
Yes.
Yet you cannot move from idea to reality, from the dream to reality,
Yeah.
until you practice these biblical steps
Yes.
or principles.
Yes.
Ask, seek, knock.
And knock.
Because that's when you start to get that.
Right.
And I hear you say that then you started with your small customers.
Yes.
And then you got the confidence
Yes.
to go for bigger customers.
Yes.
How was it like to get your first big customer?
Oh, it was very exciting. It was very exciting. In fact, I was able to share this with some of my business friends and other, and even with my bishop. I shared with him.
Yes.
And I even told him how God is faithful. That now I've been able to move from clients giving me businesses worth hundreds or a few thousands to hundreds of thousands, and I was now headed into millions, getting orders worth millions. Millions. And so it was very exciting.
From hundreds to getting a client who is giving you millions.
Yes.
You see, this is very interesting and very remarkable that you can actually move from a business where you're getting hundreds from customers, those are small customers,
Small customers.
to millions.
Yes.
It happened.
Yeah.
And it is going to happen to my viewer. Now, Enoch, this journey of getting your first 10 customers,
Yes.
how was it?
The journey of getting my first 10 customers was not that obvious. Of course, I had to step out. For example, when I came to Kenya, I was determined. I knew I was coming in a foreign land. I knew there could be challenges that I have to face, but I had the confidence in me that greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. So it helped me. I knew I would win. I had that mindset already. So when I came, of course, I had a contact, a Kenyan, who helped us. We started in Nairobi, you know, with a few members of his family. They bought our idea, and before you know it, they connected us to other business people. I actually traveled most of the parts of Kenya. When I came into Kenya, people would invite me, Kisii, please come, you know. People would invite me in Nyanza, please come. I went as far as Migori.
Okay.
That is the border of, is it Tanzania and
Kenya.
And
Yes.
Kenya.
Yes.
I have been there. To the coast, I've been there. But it's one client who refers you to another,
Yes.
who refers you to another.
Right.
And then you see you build a very big
Yes.
empire.
Yeah.
So I think there is power in starting.
Yes.
In fact, to add on, a man of God, the other day you told us your story and I was really excited, very excited. You know, when someone thinks of a cleaning company, we think of liquid soap. All we think is, the bishop is selling liquid soap and that is all.
Yes.
But when you hear what you have diversified into, is
Yes.
selling the PPEs, these gadgets, protective equipment, you know, it's so much
Yes.
that when someone is still limited to just one thing, thinks he can do one thing,
Yes.
you know, for you are diversifying and then serving broader markets. But I think all that started with your first client who also gave you ideas.
Yes.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you introduce this? And that is how you're able to build that very big empire. That's what I can, yes.
And I go to add Dr. Mugai. Once you start off, and you started now serving your first client, when you start serving your first client, you get to see opportunities. And at times, even the client may even tell you, in addition to giving me this product A, I also need product B. Would you stock product B? Or you yourself, you are able to identify that if I got, instead of giving my client one product, I can give them 2 or 3 products for purposes of increasing the profitability of my visit to the client. And so going out is the key.
Yes.
Because when after going out, then we are able to get so much. Here we are talking about you identifying opportunities, the client also helping you identify opportunities, and just like Enoch has said, the client referring you even to their own contacts, effortlessly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've raised a very, very important issue, and maybe we can pick this before we go for a short break. You've raised a very important issue, and the issue here is when you get started, all of a sudden you start to be taken into different directions.
Yes.
Either by the customer or by you seeing opportunities which prop up.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about this? Are these different revenue streams, or are they just different product lines, or is it different markets, or what are they in the totality of it?
They could be different products. They could be different products. For instance, here I am maybe giving a client a product for general cleaning, cleaning the floor.
Yes.
And I noticed that that floor is also, they have a cooker that is greasy, that requires a degreaser. Then I also realized that maybe they have a stained window glass that requires a specific window glass cleaner. So these are opportunities that I identify myself. So it may be product related, or it could be other products that are not related to what I'm currently selling. It may be chemicals, or it may be a different line of products, say personal protective equipment, which the client is using. Maybe the client is buying the personal protective equipment, gloves, dust coats, and overalls for safety shoes from someone else. And so I can identify that instead of I allowing somebody else to come into the account. Why don't I make that offering? So it could be product related, or it could be a different revenue stream altogether. But it's what the caveat is. It's important for me to ensure that I don't get out of my business 100%. So that, because that again may have other implications. Because I still want to focus on my main business. Yeah.
So you want to focus on your main business and not get out of it.
Okay. I don't want to start supplying, for example, electrical goods. I don't want to start supplying engineering spares because I'm not an engineer.
Yes.
But products that I do well understand and I can readily supply, that there's no problem.
So before we take this break, I hear you say that it's very important when you're getting started, especially when it's a young business, to stick to your line of business.
Yes.
You can grow within that line, increase product line, get to different range of your products, and stick there for some time.
Yes.
Although I know there is also a business strategy known as diversification.
Yes.
And might be after the break we are going to discuss about diversification.
Yes.
Which is basically then has to be done intentionally.
Yes.
Not just cropping without plan.
Right.
So with that, my dear viewer, we'll take a short break and we'll be back. God bless. Viewer, welcome back to Kingdom Business Network. This is a program that gives you tips on how to run your business. And before the break, we were discussing about customers and how customers help you to grow your business in terms of how they start to give you ideas which propel you to act. And as you act, you start to find yourself moving into a different direction in terms of business growth. And Michael, there's something you're explaining about how customers start to give you some needs, and how you start to act on those needs, and how that starts to grow your business.
Yeah, no, because your business is supposed to be established to provide a solution to a certain problem in the market. And so when the customers come to you requesting for needs for solutions to be provided, then you are delighted to provide those solutions to them, because that is the reason why your business exists. Yeah, and it doesn't matter where those clients are located, whether they are within the environment that you started with or within reach geographically, or whether they are away from your geographical reach, then the business should delight itself in providing those solutions to the clients.
You talked about selling more
Yes.
to a customer.
Yes.
And the importance of doing that.
Yes.
Maybe you can explain to the viewer more about that.
Yeah, there is a way that you can be able to grow your business by selling more to the client. And there is what we would call rage selling. That's what is called rage selling. That is when you are in expanding the products that you are selling to a client within the same application area. For instance, if I can talk about cleaning and hygiene products to a kitchen, maybe you are selling, or the supplier is selling, general purpose cleaners for the floors or dishwashers for cleaning the utensils. There is also an opportunity within the same kitchen of selling distainers for the utensils. In the same kitchen, there is an oven that needs to be cleaned. In the same kitchen, there is a drainage that needs to be unblocked. And so when you add on the drainage cleaner, you add on the utensils distainer, you add on the oven cleaner, then that is rage selling, and that boosts your revenues to the client. And there are enormous benefits in doing this. And at the same time, you can move on from the kitchen and realize when you are going to the kitchen, there is also a room within the hotel environment that needs to be cleaned, or there is a laundry. You can provide chemicals for cleaning clothes, and so that boosts the amount of revenue that you are getting from that client, and the profit that you get from that client is boosted. Yeah.
Another example, which is much more closer home to some of you, is if you go to a salon, like us men, when you go to a kinyozi, and you're going there to have your hair cut.
Yeah.
Many years ago, they would just simply cut your hair, and those days we had what we call kinyozi wa steamer. I don't know whether they were nyuring the steamer or they were nyuring the head. I'm not sure. But the kinyozi wa steamer only cut your hair, and that was it. Before kinyozi wa steamer, there used to be guys, were they in scissors or were they with the wembe? What do you call wembe? Razor braids.
Razor braids.
It was razor braids. Then we went to Makasi scissors. Then
they came now to
there was all those mechanical machines.
Yes.
And then from mechanical machines we moved to the electrical shavers.
Yes.
At that time, that business of salon, they could only just cut your hair.
Yes.
But if you go to a modern hair salon today, which I can't even call modern because now it's become the default.
Yes.
Is after they they shave your hair for the men, they want to ask something else. They want to do scrub.
Face.
They want to do facial. They want to do pedicure.
Yes.
They want to do manicure.
Yes.
They want to lighten your burden in terms of massage and all that.
Right.
So those are extra services that you're adding on. So you find that at the time of kinyozi wa steamer, a customer would only be worth the haircut.
Yes.
But today a customer brings in with him
Yes.
a load of other business opportunities.
Yes.
And this is basically what we are trying to tell you, that whatever business you are in, try and see what else can go along with that business. What other business opportunities from that one customer
Yes.
can you supply?
Right.
Yeah.
And by so doing, it's very, very economical, I believe.
Yeah.
And you're able to actually sell more.
Right.
So that is something very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, we're also talking about not only increasing in terms of product lines,
Yes.
but also in terms of growing geographically.
Yes.
And there's something you're telling me about geographical growth.
Yes.
Maybe you can repeat it once again.
What I meant is, because you are a business that is tailored to provide solutions to the client. So when the business is already known, with time you get calls or referrals even from beyond your niche market, and you might get customers far and wide from where you are located. And when they call and they want a solution offered to them, then you readily provide to them, whether they are within your reach or they are beyond your reach. For example, we are talking about if maybe you are serving clients within Nairobi and you've gotten some inquiries from Mombasa, you've gotten inquiries from Kisumu. It is because you are providing solutions to those clients, and so you find yourself growing both. Your geographical growth will also help you to grow in terms of revenue and in terms of your profits.
So the growth geographically.
Yes.
Is it supposed to happen immediately, or at what time should you time geographical growth?
The geographical growth would take time. It would normally take time, but for how long, that depends on the specific business. It depends also on the investment that you have employed in the advertisements that you have done. For instance, if it is in the consumer market, it would be different from the industrial market. But depending on the investment that you've done, the strategies that you've laid into the market entry, that will be dependent. But it is important for you to give yourself time to establish yourself before you start expanding geographically.
Enoch, yes. You had a business in Uganda,
yes,
and then you moved to Kenya.
yes.
At what time did you decide to move? Did you require to have achieved certain milestones, or to have taken a number of years, or whatever it is? What would you advise somebody who started, let's say, in Nairobi,
Sure.
and now he has to grow geographically? At what time should he do it?
Well, thank you so much, Bishop. I am very excited about this discussion. I must tell our viewers, do not be misguided. This is Kingdom Business Network on your favorite TV channel, Faith Today Television. For the young people, this is very exciting because when I get to learn to diversifying, I think that is the word, getting to geographical expansion. I think geographical expansion is very key. If anyone is starting business, you need to think outside the box because you can't really rely on one kind of market. For example, imagine there was a lockdown here in Nairobi and you are just a few people knew you are selling this and that, and then you do not have cash coming in. And remember the other day we talked about cash flow being king. You must have cash to help fuel your operations and things like that. So I believe a business, for example, for us, when we started the business, like you said, it takes on form of its own. You know, when someone gets in, then they will tell you, okay, now there is this market. You know, for example, when we started in Uganda, we didn't have Kenya on board, but we had a Kenyan who was working in Uganda. So when he saw the idea, he was very, very excited. So we had to come up with a structure immediately. Our plan to diversify into other markets, it was not yet that time. But because there was a need, there was demand, and Kenya being a ready market, I talked about it being a digital hub, you know, we knew that is the direction to take because that is where the direction was, the business was taking us. Of course, it was not easy in the first 6 months and 1 year because we had to break so many barriers. It was not easy. Yeah, a business just starting 1 year and then you are entering into another country. So I believe that, of course, now it is getting form. I believe that as people who are starting in business, you need to be aware, you need to be ready, give room for if there is any opportunity to expand into another geographical area, you'll be ready to get in. Because you can't be comfortable with the market you have. Yeah, you have to be open-minded. If there's demand for maybe Muranga, to supply Muranga, you must be willing, be like agile, be flexible in case, in case there is room for me to penetrate Muranga, know what does it take? How can I enter that? For example, for the young people, I would encourage them to be intentional. Me, the way to expand is from one referral. When I get a person who gets on board, I would want to know what can I also do for you? Which other people do you know in other counties? For example, Kenya has over 47 counties. But I tell you, with a good plan, you can have, you know, business in all those counties. But how does it start? By you knowing where you are and then having the image of, in case someone comes from another region, am I able to enter into that? Because it is very important. Cash flow is king. You're the one who taught me that. Yes. Cash flow is king. So if you're just, you know, limited to one area, one market, you are going to die out soon. So Yeah, that's what I
So I
say.
think, with your permission, Dr. Mungai, I think allowing now the business to grow organically.
Yes.
Once it has established itself and people start getting to know about it and referrals start coming in, you find the business growing beyond your environment or your focus city to other markets. But it is important for you first to allow the business to grow. Do not start going out immediately before you have started growing. It's the business is an organism. Allow the business to establish itself and now let it start expanding. Let it start. It is now the business now is telling you, you must go to Kisumu now. You must go it's time now. Serve customers in Nyeri. Serve customers in Mombasa. Have a representation in Kajiado. That kind of thing.
What I hear from this discussion is that initially the business needs to be located in a particular space.
Yes.
If it's Nairobi, locate it in Nairobi.
Yes.
And there's advantages of locating it near where you are.
Yes.
Number one, you'll easily be able to supervise it.
Yes.
You'll be able to give attention to it because when a business is young, it requires a lot of your time.
Right.
It also has got its own economies in terms of, let's say, even transport cost, delivery cost, delivery of materials, the cost of that, and even for the workers, you're able to manage the cost because you're all around a particular place.
Right.
But as the business starts to take a life of its own and it starts to grow, then you'll have much more muscle to move to the next county or to the next province or to the next country. If I'm right on that. So then you have enough. You have the strength to do that. But if you are located in Nairobi and you've just started a business and you want to go and start serving Kisumu, it's an economical.
It's an economical.
And it has a lot of challenges also.
True.
And then you've also not even learned the business.
No.
And now you're talking of going to Kisumu or going to Mombasa. First of all, even biblically, Jesus told the disciples to do what? To preach where?
In Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem. Then after Jerusalem?
In Judea.
Then after Judea?
Samaria.
Exactly. So the business also takes the same format.
Yes.
That it's easier for you to preach first in Jerusalem.
Right.
Before you have preached in Judea. So let Judea be as a result that you've exhausted Jerusalem.
Yes.
And you are now in Judea.
Right.
And let the outside of Judea be after you have exhausted Judea. Then you go to the outside to Samaria and then to the rest of the world.
Right.
So this is very, very important for business. And it becomes a trick because you'll get a customer who is coming from all over the place, or somebody comes and tells you, oh, go to that particular culture, and then you're jumping all over the place.
Right.
But if you're able to do it, go ahead. But more often than not, it's easier for you to first of all localize your business where you're able to manage it, to give it all the attention, to exploit the economies of scale, to keep your costs down, to monitor your business. And then from there, you start to expand. So let's come to the next discussion. We've talked about customers driving you to bring in new products, to develop new products, and then also customers starting to pull you to new markets geographically. As part of organic growth.
Right.
We are saying this is not a strategy. You've not even come to strategize.
No.
It's just happening on its own. Now there is the challenge whereby you get started in a particular business and all of a sudden people start telling you to do a completely different line, a completely different market. That's what you could call diversification. Completely new products into completely new markets. Would you advise a young business to start to diversify?
I would not advise a young business to start to diversify immediately. It is important for the young business to first find its place and to allow it time to grow up to a level that it is able to support itself and it will also be able to support other activities. For course, we are talking about product diversification and you're talking about now introducing completely new products into different markets. It's the business that is going to fund this. If the business is young and you don't have capital for that, then it will be a problem. You start getting discouraged. You start being unable. You'll be having problems of cash flow. You start having challenges of learning the business, and that might discourage you. And you might feel like you are failing in the business, and yet it is not you that is failing. It's only that the child, your business, was too young. It could not, you wanted it to run. You wanted it to get into a new county. And yet it is a small baby. Allow the small baby to grow until they are able to mature, until they are able now to face competition. They are able to bring in new revenue, reasonable levels of revenue, so that now you can start off bringing in new markets. Diversifying, bringing in new products. The product diversification is a strategy, is a good strategy, but it has its place.
And it's time.
And it's time.
Okay. Because then I see a lot of people, they want to create different revenue streams or more revenue streams.
Yes.
Because they believe, rightly or wrongly for them, that the more revenue streams you have, the more money you can put into your pocket. So somebody has started a hair salon, for example, then now he wants to start at the same time a butchery. The same person wants to start selling paint. The same person wants to start selling tailoring, selling shoes and all that. So he's saying, I can get some money here, some money here, some money here. And yet all these businesses are young. So what I hear you saying is that before you move from one business and then you are adding another business, as your other revenue stream, first of all, exhaust this and give it opportunity to grow.
Yes.
Because if you give it focus, then it can be able to generate far much more than 3 other different businesses combined.
True.
Would I be right?
You are right.
What's your thinking about that?
Well, I believe and I agree with you 100%, because like you said, you need to grow, you allow it to grow. Just like, as a baby is forming, you begin with just 2 cells. Cells come together, they form tissues, they come together, they form an organ. Organ comes, they connect together, they form a system, different systems, and the entire human body is formed. So I believe it is only wise for someone to first establish their business. For example, we are learning that a man of God here is started in cleaning. That is your area of expertise. So anything to do with cleaning material or gadgets or talk about the equipment to use, it is still within the same industry. You can still diversify in the same area of operation. Because I believe our viewers need to know what is that form of diversification they're talking about. Are we telling them if you're doing liquid soap, you can't do the cleaning equipment or that? We are talking about a totally different business.
Yeah, we call it unrelated diversification.
Unrelated diversification.
But there's also what we call related diversification.
Diversification.
Like when he's doing his cleaning detergents, he can actually get into cleaning tools.
Yes.
Like a scrubber dryer.
Yes.
Like mopping tools.
Yes.
So that is related.
Related.
So related, I think it's good that you brought it up.
Absolutely.
Related diversification is quite okay because it relates to your business.
Yes.
There are some people also talk of backwards and forward integration. We'll come to that.
Yes.
But when it's totally unrelated to your business, that's where the problem is.
You struggle.
You struggle.
Yes.
Yes. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it's very true, because for you to get into business, we said you have to have a vision for that business. We said you have to have you have to know how the business runs. So how are you going to run a business and you do not know how, you don't understand the product? You need to have a very good understanding of the product that you're going to sell, or the services, whether it is a product, a tangible product, or whether it is a service that you're offering. You must have a thorough understanding of that product. If you are selling a product that you do not know, then it will be a recipe for disaster. You cannot succeed. You're actually going to fail. So it is very, very important. If you are going to have diversification, whether it is within if it is product related or it's unrelated, you have to have a reasonable understanding of the product that you are offering to the market.
So what I hear from this discussion is that if you want to grow your business, try and grow it in a related way. Let me call it in a related way.
Yes.
So if you are selling, for example, let's go to the hair salon.
Yes.
From the haircut,
yes,
you move to your pedicure, manicure,
Yeah.
your facials, your scrub, your massage. They are all related.
They are all related.
Then you can move to, might be the ladies.
Yes.
But also you have to be careful, because if you have to now take care of ladies' hair,
Yes.
and men are here, might be you need a different premise or how to separate the two.
Yes.
Might be something related to that you could think about. Is
Maybe selling some perfumes.
Selling some perfumes.
Bringing in whatever perfumes that you are currently offering and using to treat your clients with.
Okay.
Maybe you can have some few products that you can. Maybe you can be putting it into the pricing and tell maybe after the charge you are giving them maybe a piece to go and use at home.
Okay.
During the time that they will be away from you. So the next time when they come over, that will be an additional revenue for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is very nice. I like that. My viewer, we are still discussing in the Kingdom Business Network, and as we start to plan to wind down, we'll take a few questions. But before we take the few questions, I want to ask Michael, how do you create value for your customers?
You've got to understand what the customer wants or what need the customer has. So you have to identify the key customer requirement.
Okay.
What is it that they would want done before you offer it? So it has to be a product or a service that resolves the problem. It has to be such that it is so important to them, because that's the only way that they are going to stick with you. It has to be such that it adds value to them. It makes their life easier. It enhances their business.
Okay.
So
more cost effective also.
It is also more cost effective. It is easier to use. It will cut down on their cost of operation. For instance, if it is, say, around me, because I'm in the cleaning industry, for instance, if you are giving them a product for cleaning, then let this product be a cost-effective product in terms of usage. The amount of water that they're going to use in rinsing it off, it must be reasonable.
Okay.
It must take a shorter time. It must do the result. It must do the job it's supposed to do. So it must remove the soil or the dirt on the surface or on the clothing within a reasonable time. It must also be cost effective. In that way, then it will be variable to the client.
To the client.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Michael. I'll take a few questions, and might be you will help the viewer here. There's a viewer who is saying, "Hi, this is very enlightening. Can you advise on the best way to market a new product or business?" Maybe you can give a few tips.
To market a new product or business, first and foremost, it's important to understand what the target clientele is. That is critical, because out of understanding what your target clientele is, then that will help you work backwards and see how you can be able to reach them. Are you going to do it on a one-to-one? Are you going to use it through the electronic media? Are you going to use it through the audio media? Are you going to use it through flyers and handbills? Are you going to do direct marketing campaigns? How are you going to reach them? Are you going to go house to house to reach your clients? Are you going to have road shows for that purpose? But it's very, very important for you to understand. This is the product I have. Who do I target? For instance, it may be in an estate within your neighborhood, and you want to establish, say, a hair salon. You are targeting ladies when they are coming home. So where are you going to position that salon? How are you going to attract them? So what means of communication are you going to employ? What target group are you targeting? Are you targeting our mothers? Are you targeting our young ladies? Are you targeting the teens? So which you need to work out the demographics of your target market. So, and that will help you know how you are going to reach your target market.
So what I hear Michael saying is that you start with segmentation.
Yes.
And segmentation is whereby you come up with what are the different groups
Yes.
that are in the market you are in.
Yes.
Is it men? Is it women? Is it children?
Yeah.
Is it people who are salaried? Is
Yes.
it people who are in school?
Yeah.
Who are you selling your product to?
Yes.
So once you start to understand who you're selling to, then you pick a segment
Yes.
that is big,
Yeah.
you can service,
Yes.
it's sizable,
Right.
is lucrative, it can give you enough money.
Yes.
So then you then ask yourself, how do you reach that group? For example, if you look at your business, you say, yes, the older men are buying, for example, if you do age segmentation.
Yeah.
And then young people are buying, women are buying, and all that. And then you look at all these different groups, and you realize that the sizable majority, and I'm just giving an example, is the young people.
Yes.
I might be able to see they form about 60%
Yes.
in terms of value and all that.
Right.
Then you could say, I want to target those young people.
Yes.
Then the next question you ask yourself, where do you find the young people?
Yes.
And you might find that most of the young people are found in Instagram,
Yes.
on Facebook,
Right.
on social media.
Yes.
Then you can do adverts,
Yes.
or do promotions
Right.
on those platforms, because
Yes.
that's where your
Target
target
market
group
Yes.
is. But I see a lot of people failing in marketing because they are marketing to everybody. That's what you call mass market. And if you do mass market, you need to understand marketing comes with a cost. If you do an advert in any media,
Right.
it will cost you.
Yes.
But the question is, if that advert reaching your target market. You know, and this is the biggest question that you need to ask yourself, because every marketing shilling
Yes.
has to be accounted for.
Yes.
So when you narrow down by targeting, knowing who is your target market, then you'll be able to spend your money to a specific market,
Yes.
and it's going to give you a bigger return.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Dr. Mugai.
So there's a second question here, and somebody is saying, I started a business and I got discouraged. When I see my competitors accomplishing more, how do I use the competition for my benefit?
How you need to study what competition is doing that you are not able to do. You need to think outside the box and see how can you improve on what they are doing, so that you can give your clients a better offering. Because here you are, the competition outwitted you. The competition maybe offered better products, or the competition may be communicated in a better way. I do not know. But because you are willing to learn, which is very good, you are willing to learn from competition. Learn what competition is doing that you could not do yourself, and see how can you improve this. And go deeper into what else can you do beyond what competition is offering. It's good to learn from competition. There may be things that they are doing that you can learn from, that you are not doing yourself. But also prepare yourself, and beyond competition, offer more to your client. Yeah.
I like that. Competitor analysis. That's how I can summarize what he's saying. Analyze your competitors. If you're running a business, always know who are your competitors. What are you competing against? I can tell you a story of a beverage company, Coca-Cola. There's a time they used to think they were in the business of just selling soft drinks. But they later realized that their sales are not growing as much. Then they sat in a strategy meeting and they started to ask ourselves, who is our competitor? And they realized their major competitor was actually not another soft drink.
No.
They realized they were competing against mineral water, they were competing against tea, coffee, and also juices, and all that.
Right.
And then they started to redefine who the competitor is. And even to redefine who their company is, they realized they are not a soft drink company. They are now a beverage company.
Yes.
You see, now when you start to understand what your competition is, you even start to redefine what space you're talking about. So from a soft drink to a beverage company.
Yes.
So a beverage company then started to talk about the share of throat.
Yes.
So they are now saying any liquid that goes through the throat.
Right.
That is what they are in business with. I mean, that's their business, and that's what they are competing against.
Yes.
So first of all, I would ask you, my viewer, the person who's asked a question, and any other viewer, do you know who your competitor is? Or are you like this giant who just thought that my competitor is another soda, and they forgot that they are competing with the milk, with tea, with juices and the rest of it. So understand who your competitor is.
Yes.
Once you define who your competitor is, then understand what are the strategies that your competitors are employing. After you understand the competitor strategies, then you ask yourself, what is it that you can do to give more value to your customers?
Right.
When you understand customer competition, you might realize that even the source of your product is very high. I mean, you're buying at a very high price, and
Yes.
you're not able to compete.
Right.
Then you start to ask yourself the question, what can I do to lower my cost? If, for example, it's a price competition, because a lot of competition, you find number one, people tell you price.
Yes.
They are selling at a lower price or whatever it is. So once you start understanding them, then you also start to question yourself, what is it that you're doing right? What can you do better? Enoch, what do you have to say about competition?
Well, thank you so much. Must tell you guys, I'm learning so much from you. There is so much wealth of wisdom. Competition. Most people are out of the race because of competition. I also think that people need to know, when you are into business, you also need to know, okay, you know the competitors, but who are you? In the Kingdom Business Network, we want you to have that mindset of not, because most people are serving their competitors, they have forgotten the customers entirely. So someone is working so hard to serve the competitor, they forget their customer, and that is how they are losing it over and over again. Me, what I have to say from all that I've gathered here is don't fear the competition, understand who you are. You know, when I look at the scriptures, they say that God has blessed us with every spiritual blessings in the heavenly places. So when you know that you are talented, you have it, you don't have to compete with any other person. Maybe you can learn from them, but know your position. You're competing with them, you don't know how much they're investing into whatever product they're having. You know, you don't know their source of their money. The other day we were talking and discussing with the young people. We saw a certain nice car. Someone was driving this Mercedes-Benz, and we were all excited. And then after some time, someone tells us, did you see that black Mercedes that passed over there? Do you know that someone who was driving it was a creditor? It was a creditor who was testing it. Someone had it on loan, he was not able to pay, and then he was now testing it. You know, I'm taking it back. So most of us base our business or growth or whatever with the competition. We forget the place where we are as believers. We don't want to start small. You want to start up there, yet your place is here. Start and grow. I think the competition, even in the scriptures, you look at, was it Jacob who was digging wells and they are contending for them? He dug this, contend for it, then finally he got it. He outdid the competition. So I think as a believer in business, you need to know who you are, what you serve. Are you serving the competition of your customer? Get back to your customer. How am I going to serve my customer better? And then allow to grow, like we've always emphasized here. Small things grow. That is Bishop Peter Nugu. Small things grow. Allow it to grow, you know? That's what I have to
Thank
say.
you very much. My viewer, we've come to almost the end. And I would just want to ask Enoch, just give us a short parting shot before we come to Michael.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate all our viewers. There are those ardent listeners that follow us every step of the way. You are the winners. This is Kingdom Business Network. I'm so excited every time I engage with these gentlemen here. They're empowering me. When I go out there, the young people are telling me we are learning so much. I want to encourage most of the young people that you don't have to miss this. Every Thursday, 9:30 a.m., you have to connect. Now, I want to just pass this announcement. We are going to be launching the Pastor's Kids Impact. I repeat, the Pastor's Kids Impact is being launched right here at Blessed House. Overcoming Faith Ministries has given us a platform. Of course, our patron, Bishop Peter Ndungu and Reverend Faith, are nurturing us into great leaders. So I want to call upon every pastor's kid out there. It doesn't matter your age group. This Saturday, 10th of February, we are right here at 2 p.m. up to 5:30 p.m. Please come join us. Let us learn, let us celebrate, let us get better. And if you're in business, this is the best platform for you to start to grow. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Michael, as a parting shot, can you advertise your business? Tell us what you do.
My business is Exalted Horn Investments Limited. That's the name of the business, and we are in provision of cleaning and hygiene products, as well as personal protective equipment and adhesives. That is glues that we use for connecting things, whether you are in a printing industry or whether you are a food processor, whereby you want to label your food stuff. We are able to provide you with this, all of these products. We are distributors of Diversity, who are world leaders in cleaning and hygiene, and later we've gotten into distributorship. We authorized distributors of glues by a company, an American company called H.B. Fuller. So if you have got a dream that is in your heart, this is the time to start your business. You're already sure of what you want to do, please start off. The Bible says very clearly that if you watch the wind, you will not sow. If you watch, he who watches the clouds will not reap. Start off. This is the right time to start off so that you can grow wealth in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Michael, for those encouraging words to somebody who is starting. My viewer, I can't overemphasize what Michael has said. From dreams to reality, we want to see your dreams come to reality. And we've been so glad being in your home. May God bless you very much. Shalom, and see you next time, same hour, same channel. God bless you. We are so glad that you are listening.
Yes.